Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to another top 10 list. This top 10 list is a little bit different than my normal top 10 list. This is not, um, a list where we go from 10 to 1. These are just 10 video games, not ranked, of video games I'd like to see make a return on the next generation, PS5, to be exact. And of course, for those of you like the Xbox One, that's equivalent to the PS5. So yeah, I would like to see these. I just think some of them I think we are going to get. Some we may not get. But these are definitely games that I would like to see make a return from to the next gen. And most of these games were on like the 16-bit and the Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, the Super Nintendo. I think there might have been a couple that was on the PlayStation on this list, but for the most part, it's just going back old school to the 16-bit games, things like that. So let's go ahead and let's make it official. Let's start the top 10 list of video games I'd like to see make a return on the next generation. NBA Jam. So NBA Jam was a 2-on-2 NBA game, and they had it was so cool because you could do these spectacular dunks where you would jump high in the air and then come down and dunk it, and you would start doing things and in the air that you could do, and that was fun. And then they came up with Tournament Edition, which was even better. Tournament Edition, they would put things on the court where like things where you could automatically you know you can you automatically could not do that. Things where you could jump from anywhere on the court and dunk it, or you could shoot from anywhere on the court and make it. And this was so good. They came up with another NBA Jam game, I think, for the first the PlayStation 1. Either that or they came out for it with I think maybe it was the Dreamcast, maybe something like that. I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah. But I think now I think now with the new generation and you can still do the exact same game. You can still you don't have to change it. You can still be the 2-on-2 arcade classic and have everything like that. I would like to see the things from NBA Jam Tournament Edition join in, where you have all the pop-ups and everything like that. But even now, what you can do is like now you can actually, with the license agreements, you can actually do like the start, choose from starting 5. Because on the first NBA Jam, you could only choose 2, I believe. There might have been 3, but I believe 3. But I think you only could choose 2. The 2 people, and then this was the time when Jordan was around. So this was like 95, 96. Jordan came back and Jordan wasn't in the game for the Bulls. You had to play at Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. And on Tournament Edition, you was able to play with. I think you were able to play with Scotty, Kukoc, uh, oh geez, don't even remember. Um, a couple, somebody else, yeah, maybe Steve Kerr. I have no idea. I can't remember. But now with the license agreement, you could have you could choose starting 5, and you can. So I think that's the way to go. I think it would be a perfect. Uh, this is tailor made for the next generation. So NBA Jam is another game I'd like to see make a return. Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, we've had a couple Sonic games for the PlayStation 4. We had Sonic Mania, which was a return of old school 2D Sonic, side-scrolling type of Sonic. I love that one. There was also a game called Sonic Forces, where it was a combination of like 3D of a 3D Sonic type of game. There was some 2D Sonic stuff as well, and there was also Sonic where you were going like you were going from behind Sonic. Um, and that was a pretty fun game too. I like both Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania. That being said, I would like for them to keep it continue, as Sammy Sosa would say, and let's continue to make Sonic the Hedgehog games, the 2D side-scrolling games, and I think for most of these games, it's going to be, a return to what we had in the past, right? I think for the most part, and then just keep it like that, and keep making games, maybe one every year, maybe one every 2 years, right? It's been a long time since Sonic Mania came out. It's been about 2 or 3 years, and it was a really, really good game, really fun game. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So, um, I haven't played it in a while. I should maybe play it at some point. We'll see. By the way, I don't know. I might be able to stream now. We got an updated router. We'll see. Twitch.tv/AJTRIP20. Go over and check me out. Um, but yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. Gotta make a Sonic game once a year, once every 2 years. Um, yeah, let's keep it going, y'all. Come on, Sega. Give us more Sonic on the next gen. Next is Timesplitters. Timesplitters was a game for the PlayStation 2. I actually had Timesplitters 2. And what it was is that it was a first-person shooter. I didn't know it at the time, but it was. It was a first-person shooter. And what it was is that this the character that you was, I don't remember exactly who you were or anything like that, but the character you were, you would go through time. You would travel back in time. You would travel forward in time, and you had to do certain things to, do the and it would be everything, and you would go back, you would go to the future and fight future aliens or something like that, or you go back to the past and you'd fight cowboys, or you go to you'd go to a country where you'd have to fight Dracula or something like that. So it was, you know it was all like that, and it was really, really fun game. It was my first. It was the first time I bought something other than a sports game for like the PlayStation, um, the PlayStation 2, and I enjoyed the heck out of it, man. It was so fun to play. It was just great. And the reason why I had bought it was that I had played the first Time Splitters on the Xbox, and they had another game where it was it's almost like how you play now, like the multiplayer game. You play the multiplayer game now on Call of Duty and a lot of other games like that. That's the reason why I wanted it. I said, wow, I played that multiplayer. I said, this was fun. This is actually fun to play. So when I heard Time Splitters 2, I wanted to get it for the multiplayer, but I started playing the story as well. So, but yeah, I think if you can come up with another, and with the next gen and all the graphics and the realism and everything like that, if you can come up with a Time Splitters 2, oh man, or not even Time Splitters 2, there's another Time Splitters game, I think that would be awesome. I think that's got to be a game that happens on the next gen. Time Zombies Ate My Neighbors. This is probably my most wanted. I truly enjoyed this game. And several years ago, I started playing on the computer. I went to like one of the online emulators, and I started playing on the computer. And then like I bought a long time ago, almost 8 years ago. I bought a console type thing where you could play Nintendo games, you could play Sega games, you could play SNES games. And then I bought Zombies Ate My Neighbors for that, so that I could play that, along with Mario and some of the other things. And it's a totally a fun game. And what I like to see these folks do, and it's Konami, the makers, also Lucas Arts, and they think someone else. But what I would like to see is them do what Sonic did, right? I like to see two things. I'd like to see a game where they put, they either put the old game right? They either put the old game onto the the new thing, right, onto the new next gen, so that so if you wanted to play the very old game, like the old game, you could play it on new gen. I want them to do that, or I want them to create a new version of the game like that, with those old 2D type of graphics, 16-bit graphics, right? Those 16-bit graphics. I want that. Um, and then alongside that, within the same game, make it new gen where it's now some of the things where it is it's I don't want to say a first person shooter because it shouldn't be a first person shooter, but it still should be like that way where you see them on the screen and so you can see where the zombies are coming, are they coming from behind you or in front of you and things like that. But just updated to it's almost new where it's almost like realism, where it's almost like you know it's almost like a real person. Like get hire actors and have them voice act and things like that, and all those other good things. So that's what I see as for the new next gen version of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I think that would be incredible. So here's one I think we are getting within the next 2 to 3 years. NCAA football. There was an announcement made some time ago where the NCAA and the football, they come together and they've actually decided, EA Sports have decided that they're now able to make the football game. And now with the NIL stuff, they can pay the cover athlete if they want to. So we're going to get another football game, an NCAA football game, on the next gen. The last NCAA football game was NCAA 14. That was 14. That was the last one, and it's been a long time. Everybody has been asking for it, and we've been so upset that they took it away, and we've damned Ed O'Bannon and all of them for trying to sue for their name and likeness and things like that. And but now it's headed back. It will be happening. But still, I want to see it. I want to make sure it happens. So, I did read something that I thought was awful. I thought that was bad. Was that apparently Notre Dame isn't going? They're not allowing EA Sports to use Notre Dame in the game. I thought that kind of sucked. I mean, come on, Notre Dame, let's get it together. I want to play as you. I want to play as Notre Dame. You're my favorite college football team. I want to play as you. Um. So, but yeah, this game I think is gonna happen, and I would think in the next couple years, maybe even next year, who knows? But NCAA football, let's make a return to the next gen. Next is the XMen. We are getting so many games. When it comes to the superhero games, we had Marvel Spider-Man. We had Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. We've had Marvel's The Avengers. And they are still adding on to the Avengers. They just uh, a month ago added Black Panther, and they're going to be adding more apparently as time goes on. So that's good. They've got they've had they have what's the name coming out? The Guardians of the Galaxy game that's coming out in a month. And then we see previews for Marvel Spider-Man 2 that's going to be out in a couple years, and they gave us a glimpse of Marvel's Wolverine. That should be fantastic. But now let's give us the whole X-Men though, and maybe Wolverine is the start to the X-Men. Maybe Wolverine is going to be Wolverine's story, his backstory and everything like that. And at the end, if he's joining the X-Men, then it'll be the X-Men game. But that would be probably 5 years down the line, unfortunately. If we're getting an X-Men game, we want the X-Men game now. So yeah, it is. But I think we're gonna get it. I think we are, and this is gonna be fun. This really is. So I can't wait to get it. These guys are making great superhero games. Just like they're making great superhero movies. Unreal. But yeah, X-Men's got to be on the list of the games I want to see make a return to the next gen because I love the X-Men 2 Clone Wars on Sega Genesis. It was awesome. Contra is up next. Now I know they came out with a Contra game over a year ago for the PlayStation 4, but I did not play it. But I think most people saw this and said, "Why is there a fucking panda there? Why? What? Why is there a panda?" And with the with the the release just slightly before that of the Contra Anniversary Edition, where you were able to play with all of the Contra things, all Contra things from Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo and all those other ones and ones from Japan. I think there should be, you know, there's no need to do a thing like I talked about Zombies Ate My Neighbors, where you put the old game, you know, into the new game and then have like the new version and the new game as well, so that you can play both versions. You know, you don't need to do that because we got the Contra Anniversary Edition. But I do think that there needs to be something to where I think what you could do is that you could make uh you you or you can make a new version of Contra using the again the old 8-bit graphics or 16-bit graphics, right? You can make an old game like that, and then combine it with um yeah, and then also make and then combine it with the new age era as well. I think that's a perfect way to do it, where you have a game where you make a game and you can you can make the choice. Do you want to play old graphics or you want to play with new graphics? And there should be no panda bears and there should be no other things or anything like that. I don't think it should just be it should be maybe do 4 characters, right? Maybe two guys and 2 girls, right? And maybe each one has a special characteristic, right? And each one has a special characteristic that you want to add to it. Maybe one can defuse bombs. Maybe the other one can can use a rocket launcher, something like that. Maybe one can fly planes. I don't know, but it just make it something like that. And keep all of the regular guns, the machine guns, the missiles, the spray. Spray is the best gun when it comes to um, Contra. The spray is the best gun. And then there's also fire. They got to update the fire. Make sure the fire. Use the fire from the Super Nintendo versions of Contra, Super C, than the ones you use on the Nintendo version. They were god awful. Those fire ones. They just going around in circles and everything like that. That's not a fire, So, but yeah, let's redo Contra. Let's make it better, and let's put it out on the next gen. And how about Contra's sister? I guess it is maybe stepsister or stepbrother. Life Force. Life Force was a game. It's an arcade game, and it was made by Konami for the Nintendo. It was a game that it goes by a few names. I think it also goes by Gradius. So yeah, it's very interesting, and it was a game, like I said, it was a game made by Konami. You could use the Konami code on it to get the 30 lives on there. You basically was you had to go through. You get to use a plane, and in this plane you had to shoot all these things, and if you shoot these things, and to destroy them, a button, like a thing would pop up. If you grabbed it, you could get like certain things, like you get like a laser, you could get like, um, oh, you could get rings of fire or rings or whatever. It was so awesome. I can't, I'm not describing it well, but it's just totally awesome. It really is. If you if you have a PlayStation 4, and maybe it might even be on PlayStation 5, search Life Force, um, uh, on where in the game store. Search for Life Force in the game store. It might be very cheap. It might be a very cheap version of it, like $4.99, and play it. It is fantastic, right? And basically what you figure out by going through this game is that you're basically inside some type of human or something like that. Basically, that's what it is. Because you're fighting all of the insides, and at one point you fight a skull with eyeballs, and the eyeballs are coming out of you, and everything like that. It's a it's a fun game. And again, and I think it needs to be made on the next gen. And just like I've said with many others, um, you make two versions of the game that come in one. You get a 2-in-1 version for the game. You get the old game that was from Nintendo. I don't think that was a Life Force on Super Nintendo. You get the Life Force game from Nintendo, right? And you get that, um, or you get a version of that with a version of that game with updated stuff and things like that, but it still looks like the 8-bit game on Nintendo. And then you get a next gen version where it's all updated and it's cool graphics and everything like that. And again, I don't think it should be a first person shooter. It should be a side scroller. It should be a side scroller, still with the airplanes and everything like that, and just make it just up the graphics. And they know what they can do with it, and I think it would be a fun game. I think it would be enjoyable. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I implore you to go and see it on your PlayStation. Maybe even if you get Xbox on your Xbox. Um, if you like a computer, look for it in the emulators, online emulators. Play Life Force and check it out. It is a fun game. And put the Konami code in if you can, and try it. So yeah, and it's a fun game, and it needs to be on the next gen. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Now, Street Fighter Alpha 3 was on the PlayStation 2, and I loved this game. And the reason why I loved this game was because they had, first of all, they had so many characters. They had so many characters. Not only did they have like the Ken and the Ryus and things like that, but they had like the old characters, like the Balrogs, and from the prior iterations of Street Fighter, Balrogs and Vega and Bison and Sagat. Um, and then they had all of the newer versions, like they had Gadon and they had Adon and they had Dan and Sakura and all those folks. And then they added, and then this was the game that went back to Super Street Fighter. When Super Street Fighter came out for the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and probably the arcade as well, they added guys like Phalong, DJ, Cammy, and T-Hawk. They were added to the game as characters when that came out, and they added them here. This is the first time that this was their first appearance on a upper generation console game, and so it was fun to play with those as well. So and so here's what I would want. I would and again, another repeat. I think you got to have two games, right? Because Street Fighter Alpha 3 was not it was not added on to the Street Fighter collection, 30th anniversary collection. And to be honest, I don't think it should have been. No, should do. Street Fighter Alpha 3 was again, and I didn't tell you why. The main reason why I want this game. The main reason why I want this game is because there's a mode called World Tour. I'm getting so happy I can't even speak. And on this mode, you can select a character and you fly all around the world to fight all of the characters. And the more you fight and the more you win, the more you level up. And the more you level up, the more things you can add on to your character. Like you can make you can make the character auto block, so that when someone attacks you, you automatically block it, right? There are other things that go on to it as well. And as you level up, it's truly such a fun game and everything like that. And so much fun, and so that's what I would like. What I like is for them to make Street Fighter is to make a Street Fighter game. Is either to one re-release Street Fighter Alpha 3 onto the PlayStation and next gen consoles, right? Just re-release it as the same game, re-release it as the same game, and that would be fantastic. With all of the nooks and crannies and that world tour mode and everything like that. And then I also would like for I would also like for it to also do is to be able to maybe put that onto the newer version of the game. You see, like I talked about, what's his face, Marvel's Avengers. Continue to update and add onto the Street Fighter 5. Is that it? Street Fighter 5 or whatever it is, whatever was the most recent Street Fighter, fully on Street Fighter game. They keep adding characters. They keep adding characters, and they keep adding stuff to that. And I think really that's what all games should be. All games, you just keep adding stuff to it. I don't know why you gotta buy Madden every year, especially when it's the same damn game as last year. And the other thing you just did is just turn some other things around and add new. Anyway, you should be able to do that without but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I think that would be good. And if they added that feature, if they added that World Tour feature onto Street Fighter, you know, that also would be cool as well. That'd be a cool thing to do too, as well. Just add that World Tour feature and all those features of being able to do flame block and everything like that. Add that as well, and then be able to play those. Oh, I just love it. It's epic. It's one of the games I truly miss from my past. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Loved it. Love it, love it, love it. And finally, Top Gear. Top Gear was for the Super Nintendo. I think it may have been for the Sega Genesis too, but I know it as being for the Super Nintendo. And it was a racing game. And with this racing game, you went all over the world racing. And you could select, you was one player, two player, and you could select from different, cards. You could select. It was and each card was different. You had a white card, you had a blue card, you had a red card, you had a black card, I think, or black or purple card. And each one was different, and each one was they had its pros and its cons. One car was steady and it was, zero ways, but its max speed was only so high. Then you had one thing was the speed was the fastest of all cars, but it was very loose. And it would, if it hit a gravel road or it hit something like that, it would spin out or whatever. That's how this thing was. So you had to, make your choice. And really, the white car was the best car. It was the best car because it was pretty fast, and there wasn't really any weaknesses to it. So that was the car that you should always use. It was just, I believe the white car was the second fastest, but it was the best of all time. And I think that could be the same thing. And this one, you don't have to, you go back and do the 16-bit game and put that onto it. That would be a plus. I don't think they should do it. That would be a plus if they did do it. But I think what you could do is that you could, you could do that and you can make those, all those things, and you can add cars, um You do the same thing. You have the same. Maybe you add more cars. 6 or 8 cars, and the same thing. How fast did they go? What are the pros? What are the cons? To driving this car, something like that. So I think that would be the two. And then you can also have with this, with this being on the next gen, you can have it be the online, the online stuff where you could race online. I think that's totally cool. And you could race online with other competitors, and and everybody could have the same car. Everybody could have different cars or whatever. So you could do your world tours and things like that, and go around the country, around the world, and race, and it would be fun. Now I know there are some racing games out there. The main one I think is Need for Speed, right? I think that's the main racing game out there. I've always wanted to try it. Never got the opportunity to. Maybe maybe next time when I do have a little extra money, or when they give you the opportunity to download something for free, because the other day PlayStation 4 gave us the opportunity to download watch the Watch Dogs Legion game for free, and I did it. And I haven't played it, but 'cause I've been through with Madden and NBA 2K and everything like that. But at some point I might will play it and try it and see what how it feels like, and see if I like it or not. I like the Watch Dogs too, but uh, we'll see about this. But yeah, it's yeah, that's something that could be epic too. So I would like to see Top Gear on the next gen. So there you have it. My top 10 games I want to see make a return onto the next gen. I think these 10 are great. Um, However, if you have some games from your past that you think should make a return to the next gen, or if they should maybe like in the case of Sonic, they made a return. Maybe they should keep making games, not just do a one-off, right? Let me know down in the comment section. Give me your ideas of what games you think should make a return on the next gen, or keep making games on the next gen. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.